Welcome to Wayzata High School for baseball action today. A non-conference game between two teams that have been playing well so far in the 2014 campaign. The Park Center Pirates and the Wayzata Trojans, each coming in with 3 losses on the season. Good afternoon. I'm Jay Wilcox along with Rick Rexroth, and got a threat of possible rain, although not too bad as we start things out here. A little bit breezy. And the lineup for Brian Horonsky, the new Park Center head coach, it looks like this today. Brandon Budnick, the pitcher, leading off. Jeremy Tutt at short. Tyler Stroh in center. Austin Ledeen, the DH. Carson Saline in left. Blake Becker at first. Corbin Kraus in right. Dan Hansen at third base. And Danny Savanich, the second baseman. As Budnick gets in there and fouls that first pitch off, he is facing left-hander Jack Sorensen of Wayzata. Sorensen on the year, a record of 2 wins, 1 loss, 1.47 ERA. He's worked 14 in the third, allowing 11 hits, 5 walks, 19 Ks. Budnick fouls it back on out of play, and Budnick coming in hitting at .321 for the Pirates. 6 stolen bases, so if he were to get on, might kind of keep an eye on that. And it's a one-hopper back to the pitcher, and Sorensen will flip over to first base, and Budnick is retired to start the game. 1-3 on the putout. Here's the defensive unit that Bobby DeWitt will put out today for the Trojans. Nick Olmanson at third. Shortstop is Leas. Haskamp at second base, and getters at first. Linhart, Brody, Connor Trigstead in the outfield. Jake Marsh catching. And as we said, Sorensen doing the pitching. Sorensen, I don't want to say on a tight leash today, but they're really hoping to be able to use him again later in the week against Eden Prairie, so very unlikely that he'll go super deep into this game. More of a pitch count type situation, Rick, but you like to be efficient, maybe get 3-4 out of him anyway.
Well, with the type of spring we've had, they've got a lot of games to play in a short amount of time, and unlike the college and major leagues, they don't have 9 or 10 pitchers, so they've got to take care of those arms.
2-1 count here to Jeremy Tutt, the shortstop for PC. Popping this one to short left, and coming on to squeeze it there for the Trojans is Linhart. Again, wind, certainly something outfielders are going to have to be aware of. You don't want to take your eye off a ball. It's going to drift a little bit on you. So Tyler Stroh will hit now for the Pirates. Tyler at .355 for the season. 11 for 31, 7 runs scored. Been a really nice resurgence for Park Center baseball in the last couple of years. A lot of these guys that are seniors now, which is really the bulk of their team, got thrown in as young guys, 9th graders and 10th graders. And you know, you look back maybe 3 years ago or so, and their program varsity-wise wasn't doing very well, but they've really come on. They had a pretty good year last year, moved up the ladder a long ways in the Northwest Suburban, and right now very much in the thick of the title hunt with Anoka, as they got a little help from Armstrong knocking off Anoka on Monday. So those teams with a couple games left really fighting it out. Pounded down to short, Leas charging. Throw to first base is in time, and Stroh is retired, and the Pirates are done here in the top half of the first. No runs, no hits, and no one left on base. So after a half inning, it is Park Center nothing and Wayzata nothing, as the Trojans get set to bat for the first time. And here's the lineup that they will put out here for today's game. Christian Linhart, who's having a great year for the Trojans, leads it off. Nick Olmanson hitting second, the third baseman. The pitcher Sorensen will hit third. Trigstead in right field hits fourth. Jake Marsh catches, bats fifth. The shortstop Leas, who made that last play, hitting in the 6th spot. Brendan Brody in center hits 7th. Cody Getters at first base, and then Kyle Haskamp, the second baseman for Wayzata. And then defensively for Park Center, got Dan Hansen at third, Tutt at shortstop, Savanich is the second baseman, Blake Becker at first, Saline, Stroh, and Kraus in the outfield. Andy Brown doing the catching today as they're DHing their guy who often catches, Austin Ledeen, today. And then doing the pitching is right-hander Brandon Budnick, or excuse me, left-hander Brandon Budnick. Budnick, an outfielder when he's not pitching, and has done a good job this year on the mound. Not overpowering kind of guy. A little bit similar to Sorensen in that they're somewhat slight build and good pitchers, but not overpowering type pitchers, more crafty. Budnick 2-0 so far this year, and he's worked 14 1/3 innings, 1.47 earned run average, 5 walks and 11 strikeouts.
Well, it's kind of a treat to get a chance to see two left-handers battle in a high school game. Obviously, you don't see the left-handers very often, and as you said, with not being overpowering necessarily physically, but left-handers can get good at spotting that ball, and it's a different position for hitters, and all those cut fastballs, everything moves a little differently. So it's nice to have crafty left-handers in your arsenal for pitchers.
And we talked about Sorensen maybe being on a pitch count today too. You have to love that first inning from their standpoint because it was efficient, made the guys put it in play, and made the plays.
Well, and Sorensen stayed around the plate, and if you can do that, you can keep your pitch count down. If you're not wasting a lot of pitches up in the zone especially, it can be real efficient and get your 4 or 5 innings out of your pitch count.
Christian Linhart stepping in, and wow, what a year he's having so far. Oh, well, he's batting a mere .567 for the Trojans. Little extra base pop too, 3 doubles and a home run among his hits. So up there among the leaders in the Twin Cities. And dynamite year, getting the table set for their team. Also second on the team in slugging percentage behind Sorensen, who will hit behind him. Hard bouncer down to first base and grabbed up there by Becker. So Linhart goes out 3 unassisted, and Nick Olmanson will bat now for Wayzata. Nick has not had a dynamite start, but a capable hitter. You know that if he's up in their second spot in their order, hitting at 172 coming in, but also has scored 5 runs and driven in 4. And obviously, with as short of a season as it is for high school, your average can fluctuate a lot. I mean, one good week can take you from hitting 150 to 350 because you're getting so few at bats. It really gets skewed.
Yeah, and so much of high school athletics is knowing about your team and about your kids. And obviously, these kids, almost to a man, will be playing Legion baseball, where they play almost maybe even 3 times as many games as they do in high school. So, knowing background last summer, it's always makes it interesting in the springtime.
I think the same for both teams. We touched on it earlier that it's a game that's not against a conference or a section opponent, or really one that you have much of a rivalry with. So to a certain degree, you say, okay, our conference games this week are more important, but you're going against another good opponent, and maybe the type of team that you could see if you're in the state tournament. So you really do want to come out and show well, even in a game like this. This is where it kind of separates the top teams from the just pretty good teams, is when you can come out and play well in games like this.
Well, and it gives you an opportunity. We mentioned the pitch count that Coach DeWitt talked about earlier. It also gives you a chance to expose some pitchers to good teams that you might need as you get into those double elimination playoff settings. And like you said, their catcher for Park Center is being DH for with another kid that normally gets to play. So you give maybe a couple of kids an opportunity and give a kid a chance to show what they can do here against quality opponents.
And good depth for Park Center this particular season. Certainly their school is not nearly as large, and their baseball program not nearly as large as Wayzata overall. But for this season, they feel like their depth is very good. And Wayzata, I think, just sheer numbers they're always gonna have good depth in this program.
Yeah, you mentioned Park Center. A lot of these kids have been playing on the varsity level for 3 or 4 years. All those kids that have been taking their lumps when they were younger, they want to get this opportunity to take. And I would think Park Center would be excited about taking on a team like Wayzata. They are known as a big school and a big athletic school and a very talented group of kids. And to not just hold your own, but say, hey, let's take it to them. Like you mentioned, Park Center took it to a couple good opponents last week. So these kids are going to come out and compete.
And Budnick wins the battle, 3-2 pitch. And Olmanson chasing one down on the strike zone there, goes down on strikes. And now Jack Sorensen will hit as he get in the luck. Budnick didn't give in here and just come, fastball down the middle on 3-2. And tough pitch to hit, but he Olmanson obviously felt he had to protect the plate there and took a swing and didn't get it. Jack Sorensen stings that one into center field, and we have our first base hit of the ball game. Didn't waste any time getting started there, and Sorensen is hitting .480 coming in, and you can see why with that sweet left-handed stroke right there.
Yeah, nice open stance, gives him a full view of the plate. The ball is in the inner half side of the plate, and just drove that ball right out to center field. Not trying to do anything too tricky except hit the ball hard. Well done.
Courtesy runner for the pitcher there, as Will Benninga will come on to run at first base now for Sorensen, who reaches. Umpire making note of that in his book. So a brief delay here. Connor Trigstad will step in now for Wayzata. Connor hitting at .231 on the year. 1 home run, 6 runs batted in. He has 3 doubles. A little interesting, they got some potent left-hand bats right at the top of their lineup, but today they happen to be facing a left-hander, but didn't seem to bother Sorensen much.
Well, you do like to play percentages sometimes, but as you said, with a 20-game season and everybody's been cold, and you just got to put your athletes out there, and the kid can play baseball. Let's send them out there and give them a run.
Yeah, not to oversimplify things, and this one will slip past Brown. Benninga will dart into second base. Not to oversimplify, but a good hitter is a good hitter, whether he's facing a righty or a lefty.
Yeah, exactly. You might get some, often kids or coaches will keep books on batters that they face many times, but still, if you're not going to see very often an overshift or anything like that, adjustment to a high school athlete, it's hard to predict with 25 at-bats what they're going to be consistent on.
Runner into scoring position now for the Trojans, taken for a ball there by Trigstad.
Here we go, 5. Come on, Trojan offense.
Another one in the dirt, and Brown able to block this one. Coach Horonsky from Park Center was telling me they weren't happy to not win, obviously, but they got a chance to play a night game on Saturday against Anoka, and he said it was a big crowd that was into it, making some noise, kind of like what you might see in a section game. He said he thought that was really good for their kids. They did end up on the short end of the stick, but they, he felt like they could kind of grow from that. And there you got to look at Brian, who's really stepped into a great situation, certainly, but he's done a nice job as their new head coach this year. He was on staff last year as well, but he knew this had a chance to be a very good team for them. And this one is stung hard, and Trigstad will have a base hit. They are going to send Benninga to the plate, and he will be in as it's bob a little bit out there, but probably would have scored anyway on that one. 1-0 Trojans as Connor Trigstad drives in the first run of the ball game here for Wayzata.
Well, he's the cleanup hitter for Wayzata. You can see again an open stance and rips that ball hard past the second baseman. There might have been a possible play. I think it probably would have scored easily from second, but you can see that bobble out there in right field. So not an error per se, because pitch runner coming hard with 2 outs would have probably scored easily anyway.
Jake Marsh stepping in now for Wayzata. He's at .250 on the year, 4 runs batted in. And looks at a first pitch strike here, so Budnick will try and limit the damage to 1. He got the first 2 hitters, but then Sorensen a line single, and a wild pitch moved his courtesy runner up to second, and then Trigstad drives him in with a single to right. And he has him picked off. Here's the throw down. Not going to be in time. Well, not Trigstad fooled a little bit by the move of Budnick, but he ended up coming slow to first, and they just didn't have time. Becker throwing down.
Well, he had a huge lead, and it might have been a one-way lead where he wasn't going to go back. He was going on first movement, and he got there awfully quick.
Saw the throw down wasn't exactly on the bag either, but he had it beat either way. Sometimes that's the best thing. People freeze and get caught in a rundown. Sometimes you're better off once you're going, keep on going and see if you can't beat it. And this one is hit well to left, and it is misjudged, and that's going to be another run. Overrun out there by Celine. Now the throw into second base is not going to be in time, and Marsh will knock in a run with the double there for the Trojans. It is 2-0 Wayzata. Talked a little bit about the wind.
Well, this ball is, the way it comes off the bat, you'll see it's the outfielders got to make that judgment, because that ball's going to spin hard off his bat. And he starts hard to his left and realizes he misjudged it right away. So, again, not an error per se, just a misjudgment out there. But comes around, scores easily. Marsh put together another base hit with 2 outs, and Wayzata's got 2 runs on the board with the 2-out rally.
There's Bobby DeWitt there at the end of the dugout for the Trojans. Pitch missing there as Mickey Leia steps in here for the Trojans. Leia sitting at 308 for the season. Has scored 7 runs and knocked in 3, has 4 doubles. So half of his hits have been extra base hits, so something nice to see. A little pop in the bat. There's a strike. Running down there, Tom Nettleton, 10 in for Marsh, the catcher, and of course obviously you can courtesy run at all times for pitchers and catchers if you so choose. You don't have to. Leia says swing and a miss, and Budnick bounces back, but it's a good inning for the Trojans as they come up with 2 runs, 3 base hits. No errors and 1 left on. We've played an inning complete. It is 2-0 Wayzata.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
Good start for Wayzata on this one as they put a pair on the board in the bottom of the first. Park Center will try and answer now. Their 4, 5, 6 hitters coming up. Austin Ledeen, the designated hitter, will step in, and he has had a pretty strong start with the bat. .538 average, 4 doubles. He's also walked 6 times, so he gets on at a .625 clip. Takes ball 2 right there. Sorensen had a quick, efficient first inning. There's a strike.
Well, he works fast too. He gets the ball back from the catcher, gets his feet set, gets the sign, and throws, and everybody behind him appreciates that.
Pitched in their state quarterfinal game last year against Coon Rapids, and he pitched quite well, but he was going up against Logan Shore, who happened to no-hit the Trojans. Rip and a miss right there. Cut and a miss, and Ledeen goes down on strikes here to start the second. And Carson Celine will be the hitter.
Sorensen battled back there, fell behind early on, and was able to keep focused and bring that ball back down in the strike zone. And recover.
Fastball over for a strike. Celine, a big left-hand batter, hitting at 273 for the Pirates. 5 runs batted in. Kind of think he'd probably like to get a hit here to erase the memory of misjudging that one and left a little bit too. There's a strike.
Yeah, that's a nice pitch, a nice fastball on the outer half of the plate, just at the knees. That's where you want to live, especially when you're pitching to a big kid.
Comes with the breaking ball, swing and a miss. 2 batters, 2 Ks here in the second inning for Sorensen, and now Blake Becker will be the batter for Park Center.
Well, he let that fastball go by, so now he's thinking about that fastball, and he gives him a nice off-speed pitch, and he chases that down in the zone. It's a good mix of pitches by pitcher and catcher.
Throws that one over for a strike here. Becker is at 182 for Park Center, 4 for 22. Coach Sharansky was saying that of late, the last handful of games, they haven't been hitting as well as they were earlier. Not putting together, stringing hits together as well. Little soft one up the middle, and it takes a bad hop on Leas, and Becker is going to be aboard. I think we'll probably have to call that one a base hit, because this thing definitely takes a strange hop right at the last second. It was going to be a tough chance to get an out here anyway, but you can see it started to go a little bit sideways on Leas there. So,
yep, the ground's just thawed out. The grass is pretty long here at Wayzata, so there's lots of hidden bumps in there.
Corbin Kraus will be the batter now for Park Center. Pitch misses up high. Kraus hitting 273. First base runner here for Park Center. There's a strike. Yeah, certainly with the late spring we had, a few of the ball games I've been at this year, you're seeing fields that have some missing spots, little bare spots, some bumpiness in the infield, and
well, on a grass field like this, you want to soak it up and then get the roller out, and you'd like to do that sometime in April, but sometime in April was either sleet, ice, or snowbank, so it really won't be in really pretty good shape for another month or so.
Sorensen missing up high here and falls behind 3-1 to Kraus as Park Center tries to mount a little bit of a 2-out rally here. And that one misses, so Kraus is aboard with the walk. And Dan Hansen will be the hitter. Hansen hasn't had many at-bats, just 0 for 4 so far this year, so stepping in here with an opportunity. Couple guys aboard with 2 outs. Just missed low with that one. Sorensen wanted it, I think. So 2-0.
Well, and Jake Marsh had set up on that spot too, and usually when you hit the catcher's mitt where he asks for it, it's usually a pretty good spot.
Pours that one over. Looked like Hansen was taking all the way here as Sorensen has had just a little brief spell of struggling to find the strike zone here. Lifted out to right. Going to be playable, but again, that wind is always an issue, and Trigstad does a nice job staying with it. So Sorensen works out of trouble. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left aboard. We go to the bottom of the second inning now. 2-0 Trojans.
I never thought I'd miss you half as much as I do.
It must be love. It must be hospice.
Maple Grove, New Hope, and Brooklyn Center. Channel 12 is your local source.
When it comes to TV channels, you've got choices. As a matter of fact, you've got lots of choices. But only one channel is your local source in your community every day, bringing you the news, sports, events, and city information that affect you. So seek out the source. Channel 12, 30 years your local source.
Welcome back to Wayzata High School along with Rick Rexroth. I'm Jay Wilcox. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Wayzata will have their 7-8-9 hitters up after getting 2 runs in the first off of Brandon Budnick. New left fielder for Park Center, Michael Bergstrom, has come in out there in left. Brendan Brody getting set to hit here for Wayzata. He's had a solid performance so far this spring, .333 average. 5 runs batted in, 4 runs scored. Cut and a miss there, and it's 1-1. And fouls this one away. We mentioned, of course, busy time of the season. Wayzata played Hopkins on Monday. They got this one today, which is Tuesday. Then Edina Wednesday, Lakeville North Thursday, a doubleheader with Eden Prairie Friday, and at Totino Grace Saturday. How do you like that?
Yeah, it really is tough. I mean, everybody's dealing with that with the weather conditions, but you know, and not that these teams would benefit from that, but if you recall last year at this time, people were renting out the Metrodome at all hours of the day. Well, that option's not there anymore, and so there really are not a lot of places to play until the weather warms up and the ground thaws.
Fouled away at the plate here. Two-two pitch coming to Brody. Little tapper, and it's called it foul there as Brown picked it up, and
Brown popped out from behind, or the catcher grabbed it.
Coach Ronsky coming out, and he's going to argue a little bit here.
And if the ball hit in the batter's box, but then it was hit fair territory, and then bounced back into foul territory. So it bounced once in the batter's box, and the second bounce was in fair territory. And that's a tough bang play to make, because if the catcher grabs the ball and when it's in fair territory, picks it up and throws him out. You'll see it bounce off the batter's box. That's obviously a foul, but watch where the ball comes down here, and you'll see the catcher pop out like he's supposed to, and hits in fair territory, and I can't tell if he grabbed it clean or not.
Next pitch is up high and goes through the glove of Brown, so be a 3-2 count here. Batter did the right thing as he took off running, and catcher Brown did the right thing too by trying to play that ball. Obviously, it's a relatively easy out if he can, if that ball's fair. And back up the middle, and it's going to come back to Cost Park Center as Brody wins the long battle, delivering a single. And so 4 of the 7 batters have had base hits so far for Wayzata. Kind of an ominous start for Brandon Budnick. Cody Getters will be the batter here for Wayzata.
Well, we mentioned Budnick being a crafty lefty. You gotta nibble at the plates and not leave it out over there. And he's had trouble keeping the ball right where he wants it. He doesn't overpower people with his speed. So he's got to keep the ball down and on the edges of the plate. Pirates playing defensively pretty tight. They've brought the Middle infield is a double play depth, but the third baseman's creeped in there with possible bunt situation for Wayzata.
Rip and a miss at that one. Remember earlier, Budnick had Trigstead picked off first, but Trigstead beat the throw down to second base for a stolen base. Keep our eye on Brody here. He is going. Pitches a strike, and the throw not nearly in time is a high leg kick for Budnick, and Brody got a good read on when he should take off, and before the ball was even released, you say there's not much chance they're going to throw him out.
Yeah, we saw that same leg kick when he threw over to first base. You know, and he's got to pick up that foot and put it down, and between not being a hard thrower and having a big leg kick, it gives the runner a lot of time. You'll hear it a lot, but very often you don't really steal on the catcher's arm. You steal on the pitcher's motion.
That one taken low for a ball, so 2-2 to Getters.
You can see him lift his knee up. He's looking, and his delivery was late, and you can see it's clearly there. So Wayzata maybe figured out a little tip of when he's going to go where as well.
And a rip and a miss, and Getters down on strikes. Third strikeout for Budnick, so one gone, and now Kyle Haskamp will hit for Wayzata. Kyle's had a little bit of struggle at the plate so far, 2 out of 18. In the dirt, and Brown makes the stop there for the Pirates. Interesting to see if Brody would give any thought to trying to take third. Budnick didn't appear to be paying too much attention to him on the first couple, just a brief glance back. But
yeah, the infielders are second baseman's out of even being a threat, and the shortstop hasn't moved much back there, so he definitely can get a big lead.
High and away with that one. Of course, the way they've been, reaching base, they may feel not really any sense in even thinking about gambling here because they're confident they can get some more hits.
And now the number 9 hitter is ahead in the count here, so he's in a good spot as well.
Cut and a miss. Now a run full. Linhart waiting on deck here for Wayzata as they try and build on a 2-0 lead. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Wayzata's runs both coming in the first, but they have a little bit of a threat going here with 1 out and a runner at second. And that one's outside for ball 4, and Haskamp draws a free pass. First walk issued by Budnick. So first and second and 1 out, and Christian Linhart coming up. Linhart bounced to the first baseman his first time up, but again, he has had a phenomenal start to the season. Came in hitting .567.
Yeah, some people will say it's not a horrible thing that you walk that batter because now you've got the force play and double play in order, but obviously the best hitter on the field today, statistics-wise, is up to the plate now for Wayzata.
Takes that one for ball 1. And now ball 2 is Brown has to make a stop on the pitch in the dirt. Budnick just doesn't look real comfortable out there today so far, Rick.
Yeah, he seems to be laboring when he gets the ball back, and he takes a while to get the sign. He's not overly confident out there.
And now 3-0. See if Lindhart would have the green light. Yeah, taking all the way there, 3-1.
You mentioned the number of left-handers Wayzata has. The advantage that the tricky left-hander is negated by the left-handed batters. And
Lindhart skying this one out to short left center, and it's going to be the center fielder coming over to make the grab there, Stroh. So a big out there as he gets Lindhart to fly to center for the second out. Nick Olmanson will be the batter now for Wayzata. He struck out in his opening time to the plate.
He stayed away from Lindhart there and got him to chase one to pop it out, and makes everybody feel better with 2 outs. The outfielders can play straight up and infielders move back deep.
And it gives you options as far as where to go with the ball if it's hit to an infielder too. Obviously a force at third and second, and you can go to first anytime you like. Rip and a miss. And chased one in the dirt there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Budnick would have to feel pretty good if he was able to wiggle out of this one. It didn't look very promising to start here. And swing and a miss as he got him to chase. Olmanson out on strikes. Now the throw down to second is off of Savanich's glove, and Wayzata is going to get a run. Park Center not handling that one well at all as Olmanson strikes out, but will reach base.
It starts by the ball not being handled cleanly by the catcher, and he should pick up the ball, step outside into foul territory, fire that ball over to first base, and it's just like a force out. But Brown unsure about what to do with the ball. Then they got to first base late. They picked up the ball, threw it to second to get the force there because the Wayzata runner wasn't running hard, and the ball was mishandled at second base.
Jack Sorensen driving it a long way but foul down the right field line. So score it as an error.
It's a strikeout there. He's got to pick up the ball and throw it to first. And you'll see he's late there. And then when they throw it to second, you'll see the infielders kind of intercepted the ball to second base.
Wow, that didn't look good. Not good fundamentals right there for Park Center at all. First of all, not throw. First of all, not recognizing that with 2 outs that you needed to throw that ball to first base, but then it was really confounded by Savanich being in the way of the second baseman there. Not only was he in the way of the throw, but then he tried to grab it, and that wasn't so good. And Sorensen hits a rocket, but right at Becker. And the Trojans are done in the third. Looked like Park Center was going to wiggle out of it, but they don't end up doing it. 1 run, 1 base hit, 1 error, and they leave a pair here. So through 2 innings, it is 3-0 Trojans.
A Brooklyn Park church received some unwelcome visitors this past weekend.
Volunteers really do have their work cut out for them. They'll be inspecting 23,000 residential lots and city boulevards.
The problem began when the railroad decided to increase the train's speed. In the process, they had to raise a portion of the track over here.
Fire crews got a call around 4 Friday morning from a passerby alerting them to a deck fire.
This time, little lob for Winnicky, trying to go up and get it. Touchdown!
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life.
Top half of inning number 3 here at Wayzata High School. It'll be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters set to come up for Park Center as they face Wayzata lefty Sorensen, and he is eager to get going, so he's playing catch a little bit here before the hitter comes up. Danny Savanich steps in, takes a strike. He's hitting 286 for the Pirates. Looks at a ball up high. Two balls and a strike here to Savanich. And a rip and a miss at that fastball. Two and two, and it looks like Sorensen didn't think that that was the correct count, but I believe that's right. Lifted back, foul and out of play.
I wonder if he thought that that first pitch was called a strike. The second pitch was in a similar spot and wasn't called a strike. Maybe he thought that was strike 3 for the batter.
Just got a piece of that one. Ooh, trying to hold up. Did he go? He went. Strike 3, Savanich. Not able to hold up, and he's called for a swinging strike 3. That is the third strikeout for Sorensen. And Brandon Budnick will be the hitter. See if we can see it here.
Yeah,
that's close, but I can go with that call.
Yeah. Coach I used to work with a number of years used to say, swing or don't swing.
Budnick, a little soft liner, and that one is snared there by Haskamp for out number 2. And now Jeremy Tutt will be the hitter for Park Center. Tutt flied to left field his first time up. Fastball missing high and away. Cut and a miss. Sorensen being asked to tuck his jersey in as it was starting to flap a little bit. Right on that one, but fouls it straight back. And a cut and a miss, and a good inning for Sorensen in the third. A quick 1-2-3 inning with 2 Ks. No runs, no hits, no one left. We go to the bottom of the third, 3-0 Trojans.
Hi, I'm here to tell you about a new medical website designed especially for older folks. Website, you say? I can't work on computers. They're not senior friendly, blah, blah, blah. But the National Institutes of Health fixed all that. Now you can make the type bigger, increase contrast, even make it talk to you.
Arthritis.
Just go to NIHseniorhealth.gov and get the best medical information available anywhere. NIHseniorhealth.gov. Built with you in mind.
And we head to the bottom half of the third. It'll be Trigstead, Marsh, and Laius, the 4, 5, 6 hitters coming up for Wayzata. Brandon Budnick still on the hill for Park Center. It's been a little bit of a rocky go through the first two, although probably should have been out of that third inning without, or second inning, excuse me, without anything scoring, but some kind of shaky defense didn't help him. Now Connor Trigstead will step in for Park Center, or for Wayzata, excuse me. He had an RBI single his first time up. He is 1 for 1. Fouls this one back. Off a car door on one hop.
Yep, it's funny. You might be able to hear or see the train going through the outfield, but when they built this high school, they were out here in the middle of nowhere, and the world has surrounded the school, and there's actually a traffic light behind us now.
And that one pounded into right field, and Trigstead is 2 for 2 here for the Trojans. Didn't crush this one, but hit it hard enough to get it cleanly through there.
Hit it where they ate and got through the infield there.
Jake Marsh, the hitter, and he had a double, an RBI in the first inning, although it was not handled too well in the outfield, misjudged. It was clearly misjudged right off the bat, although, Rick, it's hard to say whether a perfect read would have given him a chance to catch it or not. It may very well have still been out of his reach anyway.
Yeah, he hit the ball hard. So you're right, it might have been past his right side.
There's a strike. The one bit of good news in that situation for Park Center was that we're still early in the spring, pretty soft out there. The ball didn't bounce all that far away from Celine, so he was able to track it down. But Brown digs that one out of the dirt. Trigstead a stolen base the first time up, although in an unconventional way, as he was picked off first, but beat the throw down to second. And this one driven out to right center field, playable out there, and caught. Stroh drifting over in that wind and staying with it. Mickey Laius will be the batter now for Wayzata. Mickey had a strikeout his first time up. Budnick will come to first.
I'm wondering if he's remembering what happened last time he was on base. It's the second time he's thrown over there.
He is going, swing and a miss. Brown's throw way too late and not really on target, but it looks like Trigstead shaken up a little bit maybe.
It went head first. I don't know if he caught his hand. He's looking down at, I think, his hand. You can see a great jump again by Trigstead. He's peeking in. He's got, bounced a little bit there.
His wrist looked like it got jammed, or his hand as he started to plant it. It got caught underneath him. And it looked very awkward. Watch it. His body doesn't slide. It gets caught under him there. It took a very rough ride into second.
Right hand there, so
I guess I feel fortunate. I was never able to talk myself into really sliding head first anyway. It just seemed too dangerous. I always went feet first.
They will tell you that they can get you there faster, but he almost looked like he slid pretty early too. But they're giving him a talking to. Looks like he's going to shake it off and stay in the game after both base coaches have chatted with him a little bit.
Didn't you almost get the feeling that the dirt wasn't, I don't know how to phrase it, it was stickier than he was expecting there. I mean, he just kind of planted into it. It didn't appear that he did anything out of the ordinary in terms of how he dove, but That one's in the dirt, gets by, and it'll be Trigstead advancing another base on the wild pitch. So he gets a single, stolen base, wild pitch. He's all of a sudden right over at third. Trigstead, you can see, he's still kind of fighting it, trying to shake that off. Park Center defense will stay back here, already trailing 3-0, lifted out a play down the right field side.
Yep, you're right. Trigsted's still stretching everything out over there. It'll be interesting to see if he comes back into play his position spot here after the inning.
Hard liner, that'll be in for a hit, and it's 4-0. Lea's taking a big turn. He's going to go for 2, and he will be in safely with a double that scores Trigstead. And Wayzata continues to hit the ball well here this afternoon.
Well, great job by Leas coming out of the box hard. He was thinking 2 right out of the box. You can see that ball is right in between, but because he fields it in front of him, and like you said, the grass isn't very dry, but he was thinking 2 right away, and he turned hard, and good hustle by Leas to pick up a double rather than a single.
Looks like Budnick might be lifted right here for the Pirates. So we are going to see a pitching change as righty Joey Dixon getting set to come on. See if Budnick will stay in the game and move somewhere else, or if he's just going to come on out. We'll take a break here on 12 Sports as Wayzata leads at 4-0 and looking for more here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, but did you see how much he had to drink last night? I can't believe that guy made it home. Nobody drives drunk anymore. Hold on, I got another call coming in.
While drunk driving rates have dropped greatly, negligent driving and speeding fatalities have skyrocketed. Someone dies every 13 minutes from negligent driving, so keep your hands on the wheel, your eyes on the road, and your phone put away.
Welcome back. Brendan Brody stepping in here. Joe Dixon, the new Park Center pitcher, hasn't pitched much, and it didn't go real well. It looks like the first time he did appear. 0-1. He's worked just 2/3 of an inning. Gave up 5 earned runs in that 2/3 of an inning. Walked 3, fanned 1. But they'll try and get him. You know, you might get into a little bit too of, Rick, you have to think about the rest of the week in this situation too. Yes, you'd like to win this game, but you've fallen behind 4-0. Probably not going to bring in, you know, your next best guy necessarily, because you got an important conference game coming up or whatever. So, you know, here's where you like to see Dixon be kind of an innings eater for them, I think, out of the pen.
Well, and like you said, with a lot of games, we don't know exactly the schedule Park Center has this week, but you're going to play a lot of games this week, and it's hard to say audition because he's only pitched a little bit, but you want to give this kid a chance to go in there and do some work.
Runner is going, and the pitch is in the dirt. Leas will swipe third.
Dixon had to hurry into home plate. Leas being aggressive to getting that double off the hit, took a big wide turn at third because Dixon was watching a bit from the mound and hustled down the home plate to cover for the catcher.
There's a strike. We talked about the busy schedules as Park Center faced Osseo on Monday. They got this one today. They got Maple Grove Wednesday. They've got Andover Thursday. Friday's Coon Rapids. So not quite as busy as Wayzata, but still plenty busy. Cody Getters is the batter. He looks at a first pitch strike. Dixon trying to wiggle out of trouble here with a runner at third. 1 run is already in, but 2 outs.
Well, Dixon buckled his knees on the first pitch, and it looked like he was trying to reach out on that outside corner, but they didn't get the call.
Sharp breaking ball, and Brown's been busy back there. He's had to block a lot of pitches so far, and not a couple of them have gotten through him as well. Getter struck out his first time up. See what he can do this time, and that one is over for a strike. Dixon, you know, like Budnick, kind of a soft tosser, but still very different pitchers. Obviously one right, one left-handed, but different array of pitches that he's trying to get him out on.
Yeah, he's got different arm action too. He comes a little more over the top, where Budnick was a little more off the side. But he's mixing that off-speed pitch in more often too.
3-2 count here to Getters, and this one is stung out to left field, and a diving try, but he can't get it. Getters will hang on with the single as Leia scores on the play for the Trojans to make it 5-0.
We can see he tries to come back and get him with a breaking ball, and he stays with it and drives it hard. Again, a hard spin away from him. It's a good effort out there. Bounces away and a little upset with himself there, but you can see how soft the ground is. That ball hit and almost stopped. So, but a good at bat by Getters. Early on was fooled by that off-speed pitch and came back to drive it in the end of that bat for a base hit.
Haskamp, the hitter now. He walked his first time up. Park Center not looking like the team that is battling up near the top of their conference so far here today. They've had a rough go of it. That pitch in the dirt, it's ball 4 to Haskamp, and Brown has to run it down back at the screen as Getters will take a look but hang on at second.
Well, we mentioned that obviously the schools are different sizes and play in different conferences for that. The Lake Conference being some of the bigger schools in the state, but there are a lot of big high schools out there with Park Center. We talked about the experience level. They're making mistakes out here that, with a lot of seniors, you would think we wouldn't see those type of mistakes from Park Center. But makes it hard to win your sporting events when you're making the mental mistakes.
Linhart is 0 for 2. Not anymore. No, it's going to be 0 for 3, but it was a hard hit ball as he lines it hard at Savanich. And the Trojans are done in the third. However, they do come up with 2 runs in the inning on 3 base hits, and they leave a pair. So after 3 innings, it is 5-0 Wayzata.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
E-File. Get receipt confirmation and a quicker refund. Log on or tell your tax preparer to e-file for you and join the 53 million e-filers who consider it done.
And here we go to inning number 4 as Tyler Stroh steps in for Park Center. First pitch swinging down to short. Lay us up with it. Throw across is in time and one gone.
Playing right field for the Trojans.
Another look at this bouncer here as Stroh wasn't wasting any time.
So Leas Golders does a nice job getting in front of it off his toe, and you see that shortstop arm fires that ball over. Nice routine play, but did everything by the book.
Batting for the Pirates, Andy Brown.
Andy Brown is going to bat here in this spot. So he is now as Ladine will be replaced. There's a strike, and incidentally, too, in right field, Tom Nettleton has come in to replace Connor Trigstad, which you kind of hate to see because Trigstad got banged up running the bases that last inning, so they're going to take him on out, and we have to hope that that's, you know, a short-term kind of injury, but hard to say for sure. There's a strike to Brown. Andy Brown hitting .235 so far this spring. Driven in 3. Reaches out and lifts this one back, foul and out of play. The good news for Park Center is, as shaky a start as this has been, you've still got time. There is, you know, there's no time clock to run out on you.
Yep, they just need to. Their number one problem now is Jack Sorensen. He had a little bit of a hiccup there in the second inning, just for a couple of batters, but he's been very, very effective on the mound.
Breaking ball, Brown swings and misses, and down he goes on strikes. And Bergstrom will be the hitter now for Park Center, getting his first at bat. Bottom fell out of that one.
Yep, they followed it down.
Bergstrom lifting it out to short center field, and the catch made. And another 1-2-3 inning there for Sorensen. He's had 4 good ones. No runs, no hits, no one left on. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 5-0 Wayzata is our score.
Not long ago, Albert couldn't take long walks. He was diagnosed with a bad heart. After considering all the treatment options, his heart specialist recommended a pacemaker instead of putting him to sleep. Get the facts about animal research.
What does being involved really mean? Is it making grilled cheese sandwiches for a sleepover? Staying for the curtain call at the talent show? Or learning the names of their favorite bands? Believe it or not, right now there are parents just like you out there talking about things like this. From school to home, from friends to futures. And we'd like you to be a part of it. National PTA, every child, one voice.
Welcome back here to Wayzata High School. Some changes defensively for Park Center. They've got Jordan Price now playing over at first base, and Danny Martinez has gone into the game in right field. See if there are any other switches that we can make note of here. Yeah, looks like Josh Stromberg's now playing second base and giving some other guys a chance to play, but you also sort of get the feeling why that Park Center feels this one's kind of going to be out of reach, and we'll get some new guys in.
Well, and not seeing them every week and knowing who starts on a regular basis, we don't know for sure, but it does. Wholesale subs do show you that sign, doesn't it?
Nick Olmanson will be the hitter here for Wayzata. He is struck out twice, although did reach on that very odd play that ended up scoring a run for Wayzata. He struck out but reached on a ball that hit the dirt, and Park Center didn't realize at first that they needed to throw to first base. Then they still had a very good chance of getting a runner going from first to second, but messed that one up. So that was probably, I would guess that's the play that's frustrated their coach more than any other. I think today, you know, they've had some other mistakes, but that one didn't, is one that really could bug you a little bit. Just got a piece of that one as Dixon he came on in relief in the third inning. Got a strikeout, then a single, and then a walk, and then he got Linhart on a hard line out to second. There's a called third strike, and Olmanson 0 for 3 and 3 Ks. And Jack Sorensen will be the hitter. We were speculating between innings whether he'll still be on the hill when we come back out next time or not.
Yeah, they talked about a pitch count in pregame, and that doesn't mean he'll come out of the game. He might stay in the game in a position.
Sorensen out to right field and coming on. Nice running catch made out there by Martinez. And it'd be interesting to see, Rick, if we continue as we are here. Up on the scoreboard, they still have it as 0 hits for Park Center. That ball that took a bad hop on the shortstop Leas, internally at the park, was scored as an error rather than a hit, which means they have 0 hits otherwise. And we might have to revisit that if we get to inning number 7 and still where we're at.
Well, and you mentioned that you heard a little conversation over there with on the Wayzata bench about what he put up on there with the operator of the scoreboard, and we talked about it being a tough play, but it's been an error up there on the board since it happened.
Tom Nettleton, the hitter, his first at bat after replacing Trigstad, knocked down and winning the race to over to first base there is the first baseman Jordan Price. So Dixon has a quick inning in the 4th. No runs, no hits, and no one left. We've played 4 full, 5-0 Trojans here on 12 Sports.
What do you want from the all-powerful Oz?
A brain. People wonder how I got to be the all-knowing Wizard of Oz. I go to USA.gov, the official source for government info.
Pick up the student loan form to your right. Next!
I want to go back to Kansas.
Oh, that's a toughie. Back to USA.gov, passport applications.
For federal and state government information, there's no place like USA.gov.
The American Heart Association says for every hour of regular vigorous exercise we do, like very brisk walking, we could live 2 hours longer. Imagine, if we walked to the moon and back, we could live forever. Find out about the upcoming American Heart Association Start Heart Walk in your area. Walk with your coworkers, friends, and family.
Jordan Price, the first baseman, stepping in to hit for the first time here for Park Center. He came in defensively to replace Becker in that last half inning and made a nice pickup on that last ball. So Price getting his first chance to hit here today. And he's perfect so far as a hitter this year, 1 for 1. So batting 1,000 coming in. There's a strike, and indeed Sorensen is still out on the hill. Don't know for sure, but I suspect this, very likely could be his last inning. But they were talking about a pitch count for him, not because he have an injury or anything as he gets the strikeout, but because they need him for later in the week for a conference game.
Yeah, you can see his curveball there. No, maybe just not really a sinker ball, but a nice pitch down low, and he chased it. There's the off-speed pitch by Sorensen.
Hitter here for Park Center, Danny Martinez, who came on again defensively in that last half inning, and he also made a pretty nice catch out there in right. High heat laid off that one, and they appealed to first, no swing. Behind that one is Martinez, so 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, we talked about being sneaky left-handed pitching, but when Sorensen mixed in that off-speed pitch, that fastball looks pretty peppy.
Martinez down on strikes. And Hansen will be the hitter. Yeah, I agree with you. When he brings the fastball, certainly the look is that it's coming pretty fast after working some off-speed stuff. Hansen knocking it down to second. Flip to first, and a 1-2-3 inning worked by Sorensen again. No runs, no hits, no one left. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is still 5-0. Wayzata leading Park Center.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
Head to the bottom of the 5th. Jake Marsh will hit and lead it off here for Wayzata. Nicky Leas will follow him. As you see, Dixon is the pitcher. We've got Jackson Bernards coming in to catch. Andrew Gagne over at 3rd. So Park Center has switched out almost all positions here later in this game. Marsh had a double to drive in a run and then a fly to center field, so he is 1 for 2.
Well, just theorizing about what Park Center is trying to do, it's also could be sending a message to, because we didn't have some very good heads-up plays for a couple of innings, and it might be, hey, we got other guys on the team that can go out there and play for you. If you don't want to be focused on what we're trying to do here, I won't be afraid as a coach to put a couple extra people in.
Like Josh Stromberg has moved over to short now. I believe he was playing second last inning. 3-1 count now to Marsh. And that one is outside, and he will draw a free pass.
Batting for the Trojans, the shortstop, number 3, Nicky Leas.
So Leas will come to the plate. And we've got a sub coming in, Joe Gerber. He will run for the catcher. So Leas, who had a strikeout and then last time up doubled to right center, knocked in a run and then came in to score one. Bender over for a strike. Pounded to short. Flip to second for 1. Relay to first. Not quite in time. Leas just able to leg that one out. Pretty good job of turning it for PC, but not quite able to get 2. A hard hit ball down to short.
Yeah, a little bit hard to get out of the glove, but we saw Leas' hustle on his first hit, and he has pretty good wheels, digging hard.
So Brody is the hitter. Yeah, it looked like that ball really came up on the shortstop Stromberg quicker than, I thought he had pretty good hands to stay with that one as he did, and still nearly turned 2. This one is stung into left field, and that'll be a base hit. Brody now 2 out of 3.
Well, just being aggressive, he's right on top of it, drives his ball into left field. Quick hands, gets his wrist through the zone. Nice piece of hitting there.
Getters will be the batter. He's 1 for 2, a strikeout and a single. Pitch up high and away for ball 1. Runner's going. Here's the throw down to third, and everyone's going to be safe. Bernards had to throw that one around the hitter Getters. lifted up. It might be playable here toward the dugout, and a nice catch
Nobody's
made.
covering home. Well, third baseman came in quickly.
Gagne covers home. I thought the same thing. They might get a sacrifice fly in front of the dugout. Price able to hang on to that one on a nice catch.
Well, again, Leas is hustling at third, and first baseman, nice play, and went down to at least a knee, and third baseman was heads up coming home, but Leas was watching that like a hawk as well.
Here's Haskamp, and he will drop that one into right field. One run in. Here comes the second run, and they'll get two out of it as Haskamp knocks in a pair with a single to right field, and it is 7-0 Trojans.
Again, taking that outside pitch and going the other way. That's, again, another nice piece of hitting by the Trojans. You see Leas come in with the first one, followed by Brody with a nice pop-up slide there. And the game well in hand for Wayzata here in the fifth.
Linhart will be the batter. He is 0 for 3. Hit the ball very hard last time, but nothing to show for it as it was line out. Flip to first. Haskamp back in. Chopping it foul wide of first base. Good stop by Bernards there. So 3-1 now to Linhart. And another foul chopper.
Well, you can see that he's pulling that ball so far. The ball's inside on his wrist there. But being a good hitter that he is, he's able to fight off that tough pitch by fouling it off. So Linhart battling hard here.
And that'll be ball 4 to Linhart.
Batting for the Trojans, the third baseman, number 8.
And Nick Olmanson will be the hitter. He is one of the few Trojans that has had kind of a forgettable day with 3 strikeouts, but opportunity to change that here. Rip and a miss. You know, Wayzata here too, when we talked about how many games they have backed up, you really have to think about trying to 10-run your opponent here, even though some people might say, well, we're running up the score or whatever, but if you can get out of here playing 5 innings instead of 7, that would be a benefit for you for the rest of the week, and you have to play it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100%, especially with 6 games in 6 days, and you're saving arms, and you're going to need those arms, especially since it's a non-conference game. Save a pitcher. I agree with you 100%. It's not about running up the score. It's about taking care of your resources you have on your ball team.
That one is in the dirt and gets through, and both runners will move up. So Dixon will try and keep it where it's at. Olmanson trying to reach 2-2 pitches high and away, and it's now run full. And that one is inside for ball 4, and Olmanson will draw a walk. So they are loaded up now for Jack Sorensen.
Well, we mentioned about the 10-run rule, and now we're in a unique situation where the pitcher of record for Wayzata is in a position at the plate where he can shut the door on his pitching outing.
Didn't mean to swing at that one, fouls it back. He had a single his first time up, then a line out and a fly to right. 1 for 3. And fouls that one away. Might have caught a little bit of the catcher, Bernard's, I think. Umpire making a slow walk out to give the ball to the pitcher. That normally is an indication that he knows the catcher got himself dinged up a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little unspoken marks of respect between home plate umpire and catcher. The foul tip off the umpire, catcher should oblige, and the umpire helping out the young man, giving a pat on the head there, so it's nice to see that sportsmanship in the game.
The 0-2 missing away. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Sorensen. Bender is in the dirt. Sorensen lifts that one into short center field. It'll score 2 perhaps. Here comes the throw, and 2 runs are in. 9-0 lead now for Wayzata. Didn't kill it, but a nice piece of hitting.
Yep, straight up. He worked the count straight up the middle. Again, not hard like you said, but enough with Wayzata being aggressive, coming from second, going home all the way. Brings up the win, 1 more run of ending this ball game early.
Benigno will run at first base again for the pitcher Sorensen. Tom Nettleton, the batter, takes a strike. And that one will slip through to the backstop. So Horner's up to second and third. Pounded toward first. And winning the race easily there is Jordan Price. So Wayzata not quite able to get to that 10-run margin. They do, however, put 4 runs on the board in the 5th inning. We have played 5 full. It is 9-0 Trojans over the Pirates.
I never thought I'd miss you half as much as I do. It must be love, love, love. It must be love, love, love. Nothing more, nothing less. Love is the best.
It must be love. It must be hospice.
Maple Grove, New Hope, and Brooklyn Center. Channel 12 is your local source.
When it comes to TV channels, you've got choices. As a matter of fact, you've got lots of choices. But only one channel is your local source in your community every day, bringing you the news, sports, events, and city information that affect you. So seek out the source. Channel 12, 30 years your local source.
Ball fouled at the plate here, as leading off is Josh Stromberg for Park Center here in the top of the 6th. Batting in the number 9 spot. He came in the middle of the infield as this one fouled back and out of play. Weather has stayed about the same all the way through here, Rick. We were starting to wonder before if it might be blowing up a little rain, but we've stayed fairly cool, mostly cloudy. Actually, the wind, I think, has died down a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say the wind is better now than when we started. That's what we thought the rain was coming in. They forecast rain this evening, but I don't think will get any out here before the ball game's over.
Joe Dixon is going to bat for the first time now as the pitcher in the top spot in the order after Stromberg strikes out. Grip and a miss there. Dixon 0 for 1 as a hitter this year. Down to third on a couple of hops. Olmanson's throw across is in time, and Dixon is out.
Yeah, staying with it there, and on the grass, nice strong throw. You mentioned how soft that grass is, and a couple bad hops, so it's good to keep your hands together and keep your knees bent and stay down on the ball. We stay with it out there.
Andrew Gagne will be the hitter here. Looks at ball one. Hitting .227 on the year. Has had some at bats, 22 of them. There's a strike. Rick, it's going to potentially put me in the uncomfortable position of maybe having to change scoring from the first inning.
Well, we keep
or second inning, I guess it was.
We keep hook while we watch this game happen, and other people are official.
Yeah, but not here. They're not any more official than we are down there. There's a fly ball out to center field. Gagne is out. Another 1-2-3 inning for Sorensen. No runs, no hits, no one left. We go to the bottom of the sixth inning. 9-0. Wayzata is our score.
Hi, I'm here to tell you about a new medical website designed especially for older folks. Website, you say? I can't work on computers. They're not senior friendly, blah, blah, blah. But the National Institutes of Health fixed all that. Now you can make the type bigger, increase contrast, even make it talk to you.
Arthritis.
Just go to NIHseniorhealth.gov and get the best medical information available anywhere. NIHseniorhealth.gov. Built with you in mind.
Welcome back. Jordan Price is going to be the new pitcher now for Park Center. Hansen will move over to play first base, or re-enter to play first base anyway. So Price going to come on to work this sixth inning. Jake Marsh will be the leadoff hitter, and Rick, as we were starting to discuss, we're talking about changing a scoring opinion, is if Wayzata gets a run here, the game would end, and Jack Sorensen may or may not have a no-hitter depending on how you see it. Up on the board here, they have it as 0 hits, and they scored that second inning bouncer as an error on Leas. We at the time referred to it as a base hit because it took a bad hop, but I don't know. I'd be willing to change my mind perhaps here. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's one of those things where we make the decision out here, and I think it's one of those flip of a coin things. The scoreboard is right over by the Wayzata dugout, so there was discussion when it happened about what they should put up, and we scored a hit, and right away they scored an error. So we were both definitive in our decisions, but even though they don't agree.
There's a strike to Marsh as he's at a double, a fly out, and a walk. So 1 for 2 officially. Swing and a miss, and down on strikes he goes. Pinch hitter for Wayzata now, Reese Smith will bat for Leas. Reese is 2 for 3 as a hitter this year. Pair of singles, pair of runs scored. Takes a strike. Lifts that one back, foul and out of play. Another one fouled back. The ball shaker getting a little 2 for 1 there as that one came right back to where they were. The 1-2, and he's able to lay off that one. Another one fouled back.
Yeah, a lot of work for that. The umpire needs some baseballs. They're coming in here. Having coached baseball, you unwrap those brand new baseballs that are fairly expensive, so you try to keep them to a minimum. Some coaches will use three balls in a game, 4 or 5, but my athletic director always gave us all the baseballs at the beginning of the season and said, good luck. So you want to keep those brand new baseballs for the end of the season.
Full count here now to Smith. And that one missed up high for ball 4.
Bat for the Trojans, the center fielder, number 9, Brendan Brody.
Brody will be the batter now for Wayzata. 1 on, 1 out. Fouls that one straight back. Pounded to third. Throw to second for 1. Relay to first base, not in time. Brody beats it out, but solid job of getting the lead guy there for the Pirates. Gagne comes up with this pretty hard hit ball, but they did a solid job turning, but not much chance to get Brody, who runs fairly well there. Getters will be the hitter now with 2 outs. Price coming to first. Hards did a nice job flagging that one down. It was way wide.
Yeah, sometimes when you got a runner on and you're thinking about that move to first and you almost got him to jump and Wayzata's been aggressive over there, then you forget about your primary job, which is to throw the ball over the plate.
Rip and a miss there for Getters. Lifting it out to short center, and on the way back out to make the grab was Dixon, who's in there at second. So Getters is out. No runs, no hits. They leave 1. We head to inning number 7. It is Wayzata 9 and Park Center nothing.
Yeah, but did you see how much he had to drink last night? I can't believe that guy made it home. Nobody drives drunk anymore. Hold on, I got another call coming in.
While drunk driving rates have dropped greatly, negligent driving and speeding fatalities have skyrocketed. Someone dies every 13 minutes from negligent driving, so keep your hands on the wheel, your eyes on the road, and your phone put away.
The environment is my passion. Every day, I live for the outdoors and all of its challenges. That's why I enlisted in the Coast Guard. Now, I serve to protect the environment and defend my country. It's like I was born for this.
Were you born ready for a greater challenge? Find out at GoCoastGuard.com.
Welcome back here to Wayzata High School. Tyler Farrell will step in to lead off the 7th for Park Center, and we have, after consulting with the league office, well, not really, just amongst ourselves, decided to go with what they do have on the board, which is no hits for Park Center, and that second inning ball scored as an error on the shortstop Leas rather than a base hit, so Sorensen trying to nail one down. Swings and misses.
Well, we talked with DeWitt before the game, and we mentioned in the broadcast about having a certain number of pitches for Sorensen to throw because they want to bring him back to use him against Eden Prairie Friday. And I haven't kept track of the pitches. He has had a lot of efficient innings. He just had the second inning, he had that error and then a walk. Otherwise, he's been very efficient every other inning there.
Farrell able to work out a walk here. Yeah, I don't think, you know, the coaches are going to be like overly worried about whether your guy gets a no-hitter or not, but I think they want to give him the chance anyway with as, you know, relatively few pitches he's thrown for this. Again, we don't know, they haven't kept the exact count, but they didn't seem to think it was going to be an extremely low pitch count, but I don't think they expected him to be into the 7th inning either. That one's way up high for a ball.
Yep, no doubt they've got the exact number in the dugout, and I'm sure the Coach DeWitt has been talking with his coaches, probably talking with Sorensen a little bit, just checking out where it is.
Having a little trouble throwing strikes so far here. He walked the leadoff hitter, and now 3-0 to Jackson Bernards. Batting in this 4th spot, the 3rd hitter to be in this spot today for PC, and there's the 2nd straight walk.
See a little visit here from the pitching coach for Wayzata, probably just to settle him down a little bit.
Michael Bergstrom will be the hitter here for Park Center. Hard to say if they're considering lifting Sorensen right now or not.
Well, it doesn't look like they're making a quick move. They're having conversation with him and says, look, this is where you are with your pitches. You're in a situation that's unique and exciting for any baseball player and a pitcher. So keep your focus and let's get some ground balls here.
Bergstrom 0 for 1. He flied to center field his first at bat. Only the 2nd time that Park Center has had base runners even in an inning. Looks at ball 1 up high. There's a strike. Down to 2nd. I have to go to 1st here. They get the out. 1 gone. Base runners move up. And Price will be the hitter now for PC. He had a strikeout his previous at bat. He's now the pitcher after coming into the game as the first baseman. Chance to knock in a run or two here, though. Marsh with a good block. Not sure what Sorensen called that, but to me it looks like a fork ball that he's thrown just not a lot, about maybe 4 or 5 times. There's a strike. split finger or fork ball.
Yep, and again, it's enough different speed in his fastball that it makes that fastball more effective too.
Rip and a miss.
Wayzata's infield playing fairly normal depth, so they're not playing to stop that run. Just playing to get outs here and get out with a win.
Another good block by Marsh. It would be kind of interesting if he ended up with a no-hitter but not a shutout, which could, you know, on a ball put in play on the ground here would probably be the case.
Yep.
Got and a miss. Price is down on strikes.
Well, he's challenging him. He settled down after a couple of walks, and he's just bringing the fastball. And I don't know if they call the pitches from the bench or not, but if I'm Marsh, I'd stick with that fastball, and let's see if they can shut the door.
Danny Martinez, a rip and a miss.
Well, I think the fans around here can tell a little bit what's going on, too. You can hear the excitement.
Strike two. In the dirt, it gets by Marsh, and there is going to be a run scored. So no shutout. Farrell in to score on that wild pitch.
Again, Farrell reached as the first batter in this inning with a walk, followed by another walk, and then a fielder's choice. That's what got him to third.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Martinez is down on strikes. So the previous pitch he loses the shutout, but a no-hitter for Jack Sorensen for the Trojans. No run, or one run, no hits, no errors, and one left aboard. And again, if you're just joining us, we had a little uncertainty whether we were going to call it a hit or not. We decided to go with what was on the board late here, so no hits allowed by Jack Sorensen for Wayzata. The Trojans win it here today by a score of 9-1. We'll come back to wrap things up here from Wayzata High School in just a moment on 12 Sports.
12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
E-File. Get receipt confirmation and a quicker refund. Log on or tell your tax preparer to e-file for you and join the 53 million e-filers who consider it done.
Welcome back here to Wayzata. An impressive performance by the Trojans as they beat Park Center by a score of 9-1, and we're joined by a couple of the guys that helped to make it happen, starting with Jack Sorensen, who gets the no-hitter here today. And coaches told us coming in today that you know, they wanted to save you a little bit for Eden Prairie, that you were going to have to be efficient if you wanted to go deep into the game. But how exciting was it to end up with the no-hitter here?
It was kind of disappointing to give up that run at the end of the game, but it's my first no-hitter, and I pitched well, threw all good pitches, and just happened to be a no-hitter. I never really thought it was going to happen, but it worked out.
Yeah, you look like you really like to work quick too, and you had a lot of quick innings. Is that something that you consciously do, try and keep your fielders in it by just getting the ball and going back to work?
I mean, that's kind of like how my groove I stay in. I kind of work quick and try to get the ball, throw it home, and get in, go hit, and get runs. So, I mean, that's how I've been pitching my whole life. So.
Especially early in the game, you guys did a good job with the bat, too. It seemed like a lot of line drives in those first couple innings. Were you guys pretty locked in as hitters out there, too?
Yeah, we were feeling it. We put some good swings on the ball today and just hit the ball hard, and good things happen when you hit the ball hard.
Tremendously busy week for you guys, but it's a good feeling to get off to a pretty good start with wins over Hopkins and Park Center here?
Yeah, as our coaches are calling this is one of the toughest weeks in Wayzata baseball history, and starting off 2-0 is the best way to start this hard week off, and we got Edina tomorrow, so that'll be a stiff challenge as well.
Congratulations, Jack, on the no-hitter and the win, and good luck the rest of the week here. And Connor Trigstead, a little bit banged up on that slide down there. First of all, how are you right now?
I'm doing fine. It should be good for tomorrow. It was a little bit rough. Got jammed up a little bit, but it should be good for tomorrow. Good for Edina.
Yeah, you had a couple of nice base hits there, and you guys, has this been a hitting team this year? Have you hit well throughout the season, or was this a especially good day, I guess, early on for you guys?
We had a little bit of a slow start in the beginning of the year, but I think we've really clicked on all cylinders, and I think we're starting to really hit the ball well, starting to really swing well.
A state tournament team last year, and you guys, I'm sure, had high hopes this year. Overall, do you like what you've seen from this group?
Yeah. Like I said before, we had a slow start, but we're really getting things together, really finding good pitching, starting to swing the bat. It's going pretty well.
Obviously, for coaches, they kind of would like to have some practices to work in, but for you guys, is it fun to have this many games in a row like this?
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. I know we have practice in the gym a lot, which are pretty tough, but I mean, getting out here, playing a lot of games, winning some games are a lot of fun.
All right, congratulations on the win. Have fun the rest of the week here.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Connor Trigstead along with Jack Sorensen, Wayzata Baseball, as they win it to go to 7-3 on the season. They beat Park Center by a score of 9-1, losing the shutout just right at the very end in the top of the 7th. No hitter for Jack Sorensen as well for Wayzata. We hope you've enjoyed today's broadcast. For Rick Rexroth and our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. So long from Wayzata High School.